How do you deal with a rager when it's actually your own friend?
Rage floods your body with adrenaline and something called cortisol.
A player who rages all the time isn't just frustrating to play with, they're sabotaging their own progress.
A rager can absolutely be skilled, but skill is not the same as consistency.
Yo, what are the actual effects of raging when playing the game? Does it F up my aim or what?
A panicked hand lacks control.
Do you know how to play this game?
Are you okay?
I'm okay, yeah, but I need to know something. Alright, Ragers, it's time to dive into the many species of Ragers you might encounter in a game. Zehra, I know you have done a long research and came up with a whole list of Rage archetypes. I would say, let's take it away.
Yes, I wanted to analyze different types of ragers because not all ragers are the same. Some are loud, some are calculated, and some are just weird. But the one thing they all have in common? Their rage doesn't help anyone, least of all themselves. So let's begin.
Alright.
I call the first archetype the mic tyrant. This is probably the most recognizable type of rager, the one who screams into the mic like they're trying to reach their teammates through sheer vocal force. They don't just rage, they dominate the voice chat with non-stop complaints, criticisms, and condescending advice.
Do you know how to play this game?
Something like that?
Yes.
Report jets. Report chamber. Report Tejo.
You got it, Camila. They act as if they are the leader of the team, but in reality, they are just the loudest. And here's the problem. Their yelling is exhausting. It disrupts comms, it demotivates everyone, and worst of all, it makes the team play worse. Nobody is focusing on the game anymore. They're just trying to survive the verbal assault. And ironically, the mic tyrant usually isn't even that good themselves. They believe they know best, but they're often the ones making terrible decisions. This next one is what I call the explosion delay. Unlike the mic tyrant, they don't start yelling immediately. They hold it in, they stew in their frustration until suddenly, boom, they explode. And when they do, it's usually much worse because it comes out of nowhere.
Oh, I have a story for this one. We were playing on Abyss, yeah? It was a tight game, nothing crazy. But we had this ISO, silent the whole game, didn't say a word. And then, round 4 to 11, out of absolutely nowhere, he just loses it. You guys are so brain dead! I'm playing with bots! Screaming, full breakdown. We were all in shock, like, where did that come from?
Exactly. The danger of the explosion delay is that nobody sees it coming, so the emotional impact hits harder. It's like walking on a frozen lake and suddenly the ice cracks. The team dynamic is instantly shattered. And the worst part? The rager themselves probably regrets it afterward, but the damage is already done. I call the next one the moral avenger. They don't rage because they're losing. They rage because they think they're on some kind of righteous mission. They believe they're the only one who truly understands how the game should be played, and everyone else is an offense to justice.
Yes.
Why are you playing this off-meta agent? You guys have no idea how to clear corners.
True.
People like you ruin ranked. Their rage is not pure anger, it's disappointment. They genuinely believe they are superior and that their suffering is the result of the fools around them. The problem? It creates resentment. They make their teammates feel inadequate. They convince everyone that the game is already lost. And by the time they finish their rant, the actual match is beyond saving.
Oh my god.
Next archetype is the passive-aggressive messenger. Not all ragers scream. Some take a quieter approach, but they are just as toxic.
Okay.
The passive-aggressive messenger doesn't yell, doesn't argue, doesn't openly attack. Instead, they spam messages in chat. Nice shot after someone completely whiffs. Question mark. After a teammate loses a clutch. Wow, great play, guys. After the team gets destroyed.
Oh, that's so true. I remember one of those passive aggressive messengers typing NT way before the round was even over, when our teammates still had a real chance to clutch it.
Yeah, it's all sarcasm all the time. And the problem is, because it's subtle, nobody can call them out directly without sounding like they're the one overreacting. It's psychological warfare, designed to tell teammates without saying anything explicitly bad.
Some real social manipulation there.
Finally, we have the entitled scoreboard rager.
Oh my god.
This one believes that having slightly more kills than their teammates gives them the right to flame everyone. Even if they have, let's say, 3 kills,
True.
while the rest of the team has 1 or 0, they act like they're carrying an entire nation on their back. How am I the only one doing anything? I have 3 kills. What are you guys even doing? This is literally a 1 versus 9. They act like a god among mortals. But in reality, 3 kills is not a carry. And what makes them worse than the other ragers is that they feel justified in their behavior.
Yes.
They don't think they're toxic. They think they're just pointing out facts.
Okay, I have a story for this one. Honestly, I think I have a story for all the ragers you mentioned tonight. I mean, it's just to confirm what you said, but basically, there was this chamber who expected the whole team to bend to his commands right from the start of the game. When our sage dared to ask why, he actually replied, "I'm the top leader. Look at the scoreboard." And get this, he had like 5 kills, and the rest of the team was sitting between 3 and 4.
I am the top leader. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a classic. And that's the danger of the entitled scoreboard rager. They demoralize their team over nothing. And when the match ends and they realize their hard carry didn't actually matter, they usually just blame everyone and move on.
So those are our 5 major rager archetypes.
Yes, and as you can see, every single one of them damages their team in different ways, whether it's pure volume, emotional shock, moral judgment, passive aggressive sniping, or false superiority. Ragers are a liability to the squad.
So what's next? We just roast them forever?
Now it's time to go deeper. What actually happens when a rager loses control?
Oh my god, I'm scared, Zehra. Alright, Zehra, let's get deeper into it. You told me before that this chapter is about why ragers lose control, right?
Yes, this chapter is about how ragers are not in control of their own emotions, which is what makes them fragile, not strong.
Alright, I'm curious now. Make me fly.
Let's start with the first point, which is called overpowered by emotions. Ragers are too weak to resist raging because their emotions take full control over them. It's not a choice. It's not that they want to rage. It's that they can't stop themselves from raging. When frustration builds up, they don't have the mental structure to hold it in, regulate it, and use it productively. Instead, they explode. And once they do, the game is no longer about playing. It's about venting, about releasing that emotional overload onto teammates.
So they're not raging because they decide to, but because they just don't know how to do anything else with those emotions?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pure impulse. A strong player can experience frustration and still hold on to it, process it, reframe it, absorbing it. A rager lets the emotion control them instead, and that's what makes them fragile.
That leads us to the next point on your notes, called contrast with composed players.
Yeah, as I said, strong players absorb emotions, process them, and turn them into better decision making. If they feel frustration, they know how to channel it into adjusting their playstyle, adapting to the situation, or even just staying calm enough to think clearly. You know, it's funny because everyone feels emotions in the game. Everyone gets frustrated. Everyone feels disappointment. Even pros. The difference is some players know how to take those emotions and redirect them into problem solving, while others let the emotion take over.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
I'm okay, yeah, but I need to know something.
What?
Can a rager ever be good at the game? Like, if they're just, skilled enough, can they still be a top player despite raging?
I mean, of course. That's not the point of this discussion.
So, yeah, they can be skilled as well?
I'm not the source of truth, Cami. But I think yes, a rager can absolutely be skilled. But skill is not the same as consistency. No matter how talented someone is, if they can't control their emotions, they'll never reach their true peak. Because at the highest level, it's not just about aim or reflexes or strategy, it's about stability. It's about showing up, game after game, with the same level of focus and control. And that's impossible for someone who constantly lets their emotions take over.
That makes sense. And honestly, my derail leads right into the last point of this chapter, the importance of calmness on learning.
All right, I would say a calm hand develops aim precision. A panicked hand lacks control. When you're raging, your hands are tense. Your breathing is erratic. Your focus is on how angry you are, not where your crosshair is.
Yes.
That means you're literally training your body to perform worse. You're locking yourself into bad habits. The same applies to decision making. If you get used to raging every time something goes wrong, you're never going to develop the ability to solve problems in real time. And that's a massive weakness.
Right, so it's not just about performance in the moment. It's about long-term growth. A player who rages all the time isn't just frustrating to play with. They're sabotaging their own progress.
Exactly.
Zehra, I don't want you to think I have no coherence in following rules.
I already think that, don't worry.
Thanks. But I have a big favor to ask you. Would you please tell me again, and possibly more, about the explosion delay archetype before we move to the next part?
Okay, why?
What do you mean, why? Would you do the favor to your little Camila or
You
not?
know what I think, Camila? I think you are a rager. Yes, 110%.
What? You think so? Well, maybe. Yeah, possible.
Are you an explosion delay type of rager?
Do you remember the ISO in my previous story? Well, it's me.
Ahaha. No doubt about it. 110%.
What do you mean 110%? It's either 100% or 1000%. Why 110%?
I don't know. When you want to say more than 100%.
You're impossible.
And you are an explosion delay rager.
All right. Let's move on. But after all this talk, I keep thinking about something. Ragers always seem so aggressive, so dominant when they're yelling at their teammates.
Yeah, of course.
But in the end, they're actually just too weak to contain their own emotions. They don't control their feelings. Their feelings control them.
That's exactly it.
It's ironic, really. We look the strongest when we let everything out, when we explode, when we shout the loudest.
Yeah.
But real strength isn't about volume. It's maybe more about control.
Yeah.
And maybe the ones who break the hardest are the ones who needed that control the most. All right, Zehra, let's get into it. This chapter is called Anatomy of a Rage. So I'm guessing we're going to break down what actually happens when someone loses control.
Exactly. We've discussed how ragers lack control. But now we need to understand why rage happens in the first place. For that, I was inspired by an older but still relevant theory, the frustration aggression hypothesis by Dollard and his team,
Oh my god.
later revisited by Berkowitz. It unpacks several aspects of playing Valorant that we often overlook.
All right, explain it to me like I'm 5.
The original idea was simple. Frustration always leads to aggression. But Berkowitz expanded on it, saying frustration doesn't always lead to rage. Instead, rage needs cofactors to manifest. And this is where it gets interesting.
Cofactors? What do you mean by that, love?
The first is the environment. If you're constantly playing with toxic, raging friends, rage starts feeling normal. It's contagious.
Okay.
It's the same if you frequently read and respond to global chat. The moment you start thinking rage needs to be addressed instead of ignored, you're already part of the cycle. Rage spreads when people react to it, rather than just treating it as venting from weak people under stress.
Makes sense. What else?
Emotional state. That's another cofactor. Be honest. If you just lost 3 games in a row, how do you think you're going to start the 4th? Excited to improve?
Oh, yeah.
Typing GLHF with a big smile? No. You're carrying frustration before the match even begins. Rage is just waiting for a trigger.
Yeah, that's too real.
And the last one, learned behavior.
Okay.
If you rage every time you're frustrated, you're simply training your brain to keep raging. It forms habits, and if you don't stop the cycle, it becomes your default. I'm telling you, keep raging and prepare to be solo queue for the rest of your career. Playing with someone who rages at teammates is literally disgusting.
You know what is disgusting?
What?
I mean, I think disgusting is the most appropriate term because, oof, imagine this vicious cycle implanted in our head.
You mean raging?
Yeah, the habit of raging implanted in our head. This image feels like
Disgusting?
disgusting, yes. And coming to the rager teammate ending up isolated, I mean, of course nobody wants that guy in their stack. Okay, Zerinha. Now I want to move to the next section in your notes, which is an insightful comparison between a calm player and a rager.
Sure. Imagine 2 players, Jet and Reyna. Same rank, same game, same situation. Let's say they both lose an important round in their rank up game. The only difference? Their mindset. Jet has a calm mind. She absorbs the emotional impact of failure, disappointment, frustration, whatever. She processes it and moves forward. Her brain automatically channels problems into resolutions, meaning she quickly figures out how to avoid repeating the same mistake next time. And she's already focused on the next round. Reina, on the other hand, has a raging problem. She loses the round, and instead of absorbing the emotions, she gets stuck in them. Her frustration is the only thing she sees. She doesn't think about what to do next. She's obsessed with how unfair everything is. Because she's so focused on the frustration, she stops processing the game productively.
Right, she's trapped in the moment instead of moving forward.
Yeah, and here's where things get even more fascinating. There's a study that found something crucial. Emotions that aren't regulated become emotional habits. Reina is not just frustrated once. She's teaching herself to be frustrated every time something goes wrong.
Ooh, I feel like you described me so well, and now I feel so exposed. Is there another study telling us ragers how to quit rage?
There's a study for everything. I was mostly fascinated by the theories from Professor Aaron T. Beck, particularly the work on cognitive behavioral interventions, CBT. One of the most important things is improving how we monitor ourselves during a game. Like we said, if you lose 3 games in a row, you're probably carrying the rage into the 4th.
Yes.
If you're not able to feel it growing inside you. According to Professor Beck, thoughts, feelings, and actions are linked.
True. I always punch the desk and curse at the same time when I get unalived in the game.
No, Cami, I meant something else.
Oh, sorry, love.
What I mean is, in order to rewire my actions, I need to modify my thoughts, and vice versa.
Okay.
If I want to quit rage, I need to learn how to interpret the situation instead of letting rage interpret it for me. When you are fresh in a game, you just absorb the rage, but you will never know your dark zone. You need to understand which patterns trigger your inner rage and break them down. Is it your teammates bullying you? The conspiratorial vision of a full scripted video game? Which one affects you the most?
Okay, and how do I do the actual rewire? I'm asking for a friend.
Sure. I mean, from what I understood, I can give a quick example. Is your main trigger your teammates disrespecting you? Try not falling into the emotional trap. Remember the very first Bunker Podcast episode with Minho?
The tug of war example?
Exactly that, Kami. Try winning the tug of war. Try once. Try twice. Try until...
I consolidate the habit of playing tug of war when a teammate is a bitch.
Perfectly said. Also, is your main trigger the game conspired against you? For example, yes, because someone hit me 6 times from 100 meters with an Ares.
Oh yeah.
Okay, think like this time it was their turn to be lucky. Remember when was your last lucky episode? The point is, there's no point suffering over pure chance.
Okay. So, quitting rage is an impossible mission if we are not breaking down the reasons, those reasons why a rage is triggered. And I guess everyone has its own.
Absolutely. What is your inner rage, Cami?
Next question. What is yours?
I'm more a tilt type rather than rage. I prefer implode than explode.
You're so innocent, Zerinha.
But I would say disrespectful teammates. Oh, you know what really makes me rage? Imagine we exchange skins and someone intercepts mine and doesn't give it back. Game done.
Oh, I would quit the game if someone does that to me. Literally exit to desktop. And I would report the player 3 times if they do this to you, Zerinha. Alright, Zehra, we've talked about why ragers lose control. But now we need to tackle the big question. What do we do when we have one on our team? Because let's be honest, ragers don't pop off when everything's fine. They explode when things are already going badly.
Exactly. That's what makes dealing with ragers so tricky. When someone on your team starts raging, you're also in a stressful situation. The round might have gone horribly wrong, you might already be frustrated with your own performance, and now you have this guy yelling in your ear. It's easy to get sucked into the negativity.
So we got 2 choices here. We either protect our own energy or we try to stabilize the rager.
Yes, if you feel like your own mental is already hanging by a thread, I would say protect yourself first. It's better for everyone. You, the team, your stats.
And this is where the beautiful, wonderful, God-blessed mute button comes in.
Yes, it's an emergency move, but it's better for everyone. We know how to play tug of war, but sometimes we can also be already tilted ourselves, and we don't always have the extra energy to fix other situations.
If I can say something serious.
Oh, really?
What do you mean?
I meant, sure, Kami, go ahead.
What? Anyway, I would say the tragedy of a rager is ignoring the consequences of their rage on the team.
Yeah.
When a rager flames a teammate, the other teammates start to feel threatened as well. No one wants to be blamed, and so the toxic atmosphere literally nerfs the entire squad. This is a message for the ragers, including myself. Actually, myself in the first place. You guys aren't strong enough to contain your feelings. And this is human, but don't be so noob to ruin the team morale in the beginning of a game.
Yeah.
Don't rage at round 2. Rage against a teammate always has consequences for the entire team. Noobs.
Okay, this is your way to alert ragers to try to open their minds and give them a more long-term vision of the game.
Alright, but let's talk about the second option. What if I have enough energy to try and rescue this rager? Like, I'm feeling Gucci, it's my first game, I can handle it. What should I actually tell a raging player?
Okay, this is where things get interesting. Because ragers, despite how they act, aren't inherently toxic. Like you just said, they're just players who don't know how to handle their emotional energy.
So we shouldn't see them as toxic teammates, but as, what, misguided energy?
Yes, kind of. The context of raging is a fight scenario with 2 actors, one shooting, one dodging. As we said, the one shooting needs to rewire their thoughts to default to productive behaviors.
Wow, take a breath, Zerinha. Let people absorb your wisdom.
However, the people who dodge the rage should also work on different perspectives. It's important. Someone who's raging is someone living a nightmare. If you miss an easy clutch and got flamed by a rager, count to three and visualize someone totally incapable of accepting reality. Someone frozen in their mediocrity of managing feelings. Someone totally incapable of managing adrenaline. After 3 seconds of such thinking, I bet you're not going to fire back at them.
Amazing, Zerinha. Okay, but I wanted to understand how to try rescuing someone, the dude living a nightmare.
Okay, so first I would say disengage emotionally. Never mirror a rager's emotions. If they're yelling, don't yell back.
That would require a lot of energy and a lot of counting to three.
True, especially if you are not used to this type of management.
Well, I spend more energy trying to keep my rage rather than venting it.
Absolutely true, Kami. And I tell you, Lexi and I are preparing an episode called Tilt to see where we spend energy the most. It's almost all about control, but we'll see.
Wow, go ahead and continue destroying my mental, girls. Help yourself.
All right, something else to apply with ragers on the team. I would say build a natural relationship. If you sound fake or overly strategic, the rager is going to see right through it. You don't want to be like, hey buddy, it's okay, we got this. That's infuriating. It needs to feel genuine.
Okay, give me an example of how that works.
I mean, I don't actually know. Just be genuine. Let's say you have a rager who's constantly complaining about how bad everyone else is. Instead of correcting them, which never works, you shift the focus. You say something like, yeah, I don't know, they're maybe playing too aggressive. Guys, can we just hold short and shower?
I see, you kind of execute their input.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you make them part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
That's it. You're not validating their rage, but you're giving them a path to put their energy back into the game.
All right. What about when they're raging about the enemy team? Like, bro, they're all cheating. This game is so scripted.
Is that what you usually say, Kami?
No, I'm still asking for the same friend.
Okay, this is where you ally with them against the opponent.
So instead of telling them to shut up, what should I say?
You don't discredit them and you don't reinforce them either. Once again, you redirect. So if they're like, their gecko is 100% Smurf, you go, yeah man, it's so disgusting. Let's focus gecko guys, rest is 0.
Wow, so aggressive.
It's just an example.
Okay, and of course, in that way, the rager still feels heard. But now their energy is focused on a precise task instead of complaining.
Exactly.
And what if none of that works?
If they don't adapt, preserve your energy and mute. Some ragers can be stabilized, some can't. The key is knowing when to cut your losses and protect your own mental state.
That's so nice, Zerinha. That's good stuff.
It takes effort and practice.
Can I call it manipulation?
No, I would say you're more helping someone lost to back on track. Manipulation is more about sending someone on a track of your interest.
Okay. Time for questions?
Sure.
Alright, guys, before we jump into questions, 3 things real quick. First, we're not answering anything about how we're doing in the hotel or dealing with the hurricane situation. We're Gucci. We eat, we work out, and everything else is on Instagram. No need to ask.
Of course, thanks for worrying, but don't worry.
Second, don't even bother asking for Zehra's Riot ID because I'm never giving it to you. All right. Let's get into the questions.
What is the third?
What do you mean?
No, okay. Let's move on, Camila. Why are you always a mystery?
First question. This one's from Uncle Frank. Hey guys, I had this game where my duo started raging at our random teammates because we were losing. I told them to chill, but they got mad at me instead, saying I wasn't backing them up. How do you deal with a rager when it's actually your own friend? Can I say something first?
Oh yeah, Cami, please do it.
Well, why should it be different if the rager is someone you know or a random teammate? Just quit the game and remove the dude from your friends list.
GG's.
Don't you think so?
Well, imagine you have a duo and it's incredibly nice to play with them. Imagine you together are a winning duo and you compensate each other's playstyle almost perfectly.
But he's raging at his friend.
Exactly, so raging is the problem, not the whole person. What was the name?
It was Uncle Frank.
Yeah, I would say Uncle Frank. When something like that happens, resist till the end of the game. Post game is where you should have an open discussion and tell them that behavior is really annoying to you. Tell them raging is a habit and it only creates more problems, especially in the beginning.
Basically, just sum up this episode to him.
Exactly, do that and wait. Don't do it in an educational way. Just vocalize your concern and stop. They will maybe not change too much at the beginning, but you're doing the good friend thing and will appreciate any attempt to contain the rage from them.
I think you said something really agreeable, Zehra. Talk to your friend off game. I feel like when we play, we have no room for anything but the game.
Yeah, but I feel like we're derailing a bit. Are there any questions more on the topic of today?
This one from Fuller. Yo, what are the actual effects of raging when playing the game? Does it f up my aim or what?
This is a very technical question, yo. I appreciate it. Yo.
And I remember you mentioning something, Zerinha. You read a lot about the physical side effects of rage and things that mess up our bodies while we're playing.
Yes, the short answer is rage is expensive for your brain and your body, and it affects everything. It has direct physical and cognitive consequences that will make you a worse player.
Oh my god.
Let's start with the physical cost. Rage floods your body with adrenaline and something called cortisol. For a micro-precision game like Valorant, this is terrible. That tension leads to shaky hands and erratic breathing. If your hands are tense, your aim precision and spray control are instantly impaired. You might feel like you're playing fast, but you're actually playing clumsy. The composure of a strong player means they have loose, precise hands. A rager's hands are tense and erratic.
Wow, so the yelling is literally giving me bad aim. That's a punishment.
Exactly. It's self-sabotage. Anyway, the second tragedy of raging in a game is the cognitive load. Rage basically consumes your mind's very limited executive function. You might be aiming, but your brain is screaming about the last round, not calculating crosshair placement. This directly impairs your ability to perform the clutch factor, maintain map awareness, and make good decisions. A tired, raged mind defaults to simple, aggressive, and predictable actions. The dry peeking we talked about. You are effectively losing your strategy because your emotional system is overriding your logic.
So basically, rage doesn't make me look strong. It just makes me look dumb and play slow.
Yeah.
My aim is gone, my brain is gone, and my team is gone. All in on disgrace.
That's a concise summary, Kami.
Yeah, let me see. Next question.
I actually have a question myself.
Shoot.
Well, I'm about to order food for our retrospective dinner at the hotel.
Pizza.
Question is, burger, veggie burger, or pizza?
Pizza.
Okay then.
Alright, folks. It's been a long episode. A lot of stuff. Zerinha, I always get emotional listening to you. What a quality.
Aw, thanks, Kemi. Hope to pair again soon.
Thanks everyone for joining today. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. See you soon, everyone.